I'm allowed to look at it here, okay?
You see what happens when you touch it?
Oh, so you're threatening me. You're threatening me, Brandon?
It's Brundon.
Excuse me?
Brundon.
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 Barundon. What did they run out of use on your nameplate maker?
I don't know. Did they run out of jokes at the interesting joke store that you shop at?
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
You had your chance, okay? I already had someone created in my image. He's evil, he wants to take over the world, and he fits easily into most overhead storage bins.
Hello, Newman.
Call me Mr. Lamb Fries.
Happy premise number 2. There is no giant foot trying to squash me.
I am Vince Clortho, Keymaster of Gozer.
I'm just so happy the pumpkin spice is back.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Can you remind me what I pay you people for? Honestly, throw me a bone here.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the intersection of faith, family, and filmmaking. You're listening to Fearless with Mark and Amber. Here you'll find hope, truth, and practical encouragement to stand strong in your faith and lead your family with courage in today's culture. I'm Amber Archer, and joining me is my husband, author, director, speaker, Mark Archer.
That is not correct.
You can learn more about us and our media ministry by visiting fearlessfeatures.org. It's also a great place to make that one-time or monthly donation if you are passionate about reaching the lost for Christ through media. Visit fearlessfeatures.org to share your support today.
That's not our policy.
Back off, man. I'm a scientist.
Hey, welcome back for another Tuesday episode.
Here we are again. So, upcoming events, good times.
As always, we've got the women's conference at the Ark Encounter in Kentucky.
Yes.
Coming up the 9th through the April 9th through 11th is sold out, but you can still get tickets for April 6th through the 8th.
Okay.
So we're excited about that. Also, Worldview Matter Conference in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That's with David Fiorazzo of Worldview Matters. And we will be there May 1st and 2nd.
Mm-hmm.
So we're excited. Lights, Camera, Worldview is happening on our end at these conferences. So we're excited to speak on that behalf. On behalf
of that
event
yes.
and that topic.
Yeah, and he's got great speakers up there
Yeah.
too. I mean, I realize the one at the Ark is women's only.
Mm-hmm.
The one in Green Bay is not restricted, and there's some really powerful speakers. And of course, Alex Newman is going to be there, so that's
we love Alex. We love Alex. And so do a lot of people.
Yes. So that's going to be dangerous that we're all in the same place for a couple of days.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
We've actually never done an event like this with Alex. It's always interviewing him. We're there for a couple hours and then we all move on.
Yeah.
So this will be fun.
Yeah.
We're excited to do conferences this year.
Yeah.
More speaking events.
Yeah.
So
fun to get out. I mean, and even not even just the Worldview Matters Conference, but being able to be with Ken Ham, Heidi St. John. I know Megan Basham of Shepherds for Sale is going to be. I'm excited to be with all of these speakers and just hang out, learn from each other, continue to grow, and fellowship as a body of Christ.
Did you ever think that maybe there's more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking?
It looks like you were saving that button.
I was.
Okay.
I had it saved just for that purpose.
Okay.
So, so we thought we'd follow up a little bit about what we were talking about last week. And in talking about just having discernment in an age of madness right now.
The age of social media and just the information overload.
Yeah.
Really wading through those waters and looking at them critically, biblically, and always going back to what does Scripture say about it.
Yeah. So one of the things that we were talking about, we talked some about what has been transpiring in Mexico. You don't hear a lot about that now, but because relative to other things in the world, it's sort of calmed down, if you will. And just a perspective on that as believers, but particularly now, of course, everybody's talking about Iran. And, I think from a biblical perspective, just remembering that there has always been and there will always be war in the Middle East. doesn't matter what time of history you're looking at.
Wars and rumors of wars.
It has always been.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? Because it's really the center of everything. To us, we can look at it and go, well, it's not the center of anything for me. I've never been there. I don't care. I've never been to, Israel, anything like that. But it is where the Bible is centered,
Mm-hmm.
all of this. So it's always been important. It always will be. So I can't predict the future any more than anyone else, but we can look at past events and look at Scripture, and we can know that until Christ returns, it is going to continue to be volatile in the Middle East, whether it's in Israel or Jordan or Damascus or Kuwait or Saudi Arabia or currently in Persia or Iran. It's just going to continue to be. So I don't think we should be, we should always be concerned about it, but being distraught. I see people now saying, well, this is it. This is World War III. It's the end of the world. It's going to be a draft. And okay, can I just take y'all back? I don't know how many are listening who are our age or older, but I know there are some younger people that listen. This has been when I was a 17-year-old junior in high school, the Gulf War started, and it was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
End of the world, World War III, Armageddon, you're all going to get drafted. I remember my friend Ron and I going to the DMV and registering for selective service because we were convinced that we were going to get drafted to go to the Middle East and go to war. And so it just, that's it has been, and it always will be. So just take heart, I guess. Yes, there's wars, there's rumors of wars. It's always going to center around that.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking, and I don't think that this isn't the verse I was looking for, but just knowing the seasons and the times at which Scripture calls us to. But I mean, it was even, and of course, I love to sit and because the verses I only get little snippets when I think of them, and then I have to go and look them up. But I don't think this is exactly the one that I was looking for, but I found 1 Thessalonians 5. Now, brothers and sisters, about the times and dates we do not need to write to you, for you know very well that the day of the Lord will come like a thief in the night. While people are saying peace and safety, destruction will come on them suddenly as labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. But you, brothers and sisters, are not in darkness so that this day should surprise you like a thief. You are all children of the light and children of the day. We do not belong to the night or the darkness. So then, let us not be like others who are asleep, but let us be awake and sober. And while you were talking about that and just that uneasiness that people get, wars and rumors of wars, listen, you don't need to fear. The Lord has told us. The Lord did not give us a spirit of fear. And you can see there are seasons for everything, and just being prayerful. Go to prayer. Prayer should not be the last resort. It should be your first defense.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, over the weekend, there was even more craziness. This is what we know, that for the 4 years under Biden, our borders were non-existent. There are a lot of crazy people here. And so they have been radicalized. A lot of them are terrorists from other countries. They've come in and they've disappeared, and they're going to start coming out and doing craziness. They have been, this is what's called a sleeper cell, which means they come in and they take a low profile and, pretend that they're assimilating like everybody else. But what they're really doing is plotting. And you saw it over the weekend, New York. I don't know if you saw this. There was a counter protest in New York, of all places. And there was some conservative social media guy who was leading this counter protest against the Muslims. And some guy some young guy, Muslim kid, lit and threw an incendiary bomb at him.
I saw headlines. I didn't
Yeah.
actually read the articles.
This is what you're not hearing
Mhm.
about, is that the type of bomb that it was. Now, it didn't go off.
A couple of the headlines that I kind of skimmed,
Mhm.
and it said it had nuts and bolts and other
Yeah.
projectiles.
It was
harm.
designed to do very great harm. And the kind of explosive it was, without going into too much detail, was exotic. It was, and so there are people. In fact, I had just posted a short blurb from a Fox News report where the guy was talking about this. This is not an insignificant thing. So if this bomb had gone off, it would have killed 20, 30 people easily. So it was a highly potent, exotic explosive. And he, of course, made it a fragment bomb with nuts and bolts and nails taped to it. That's the point. It's just to create chaos. What else happened over the weekend? There was a bomb threat called into the Kansas City airport, I want to say, and they shut down the whole airport. It's just going to keep happening. There was a bomb scare on an airliner that was diverted to Atlanta. The guy stood up and said, "Allahu Akbar, I'm going to bomb the plane." Interesting note there, when they say Allahu Akbar, what that means is, my God is greater. Essentially, Allah is their name for God, but they're not talking about Yahweh, they're talking about Satan. So when you hear them say Allahu Akbar, what they're really saying is Satan is greater. And because, as Ken Ham has said, that we talk about in the Mind Polluters, there are only two worldviews. There's God's worldview and man's worldview. And if you are not following the Lord, then you are following Satan. So whether it's Islam or Hinduism or atheism or satanic temple, they're all following Satan. There's just different words for it. But we wanted to talk a little bit about discernment because, of course, your husband posts things
I know you do, dear.
that rile people up.
Well, and I'll just interject here for a moment because, of course, I do see the things that you post.
Mm-hmm.
And often I think, well, should I comment or nah?
I am dangerous.
Because I realize it was a really fascinating study for me
Yeah.
when you look at just human behavior,
Mhm.
if you will. I love psychology. I love to people watch and see how people react and what they say. I mean, it's just an interesting field, if you will.
You're everyone's problem.
Exactly. And so to begin to, because I don't know if anybody else likes to look at the comment section. I love comment sections of social media posts.
That's really where the entertaining part is. Right?
And just to, okay, I gotta,
That's where you learn a lot about people.
yeah, you do. And
People that you think you know.
And so I gotta, so like there's really no point in arguing online.
No.
And so I just kind of look at it and breeze past it. Okay. So my first question to you
To me. Okay.
was, honey, why did you post the video?
Uh-huh.
Why did you decide to share it?
You want me to answer that?
Yes,
now?
I do.
So what do we do here? What do we do here
So,
with our ministry?
If I could say anything, and if you're just first time listener, welcome. We're glad you're here. What I could say is,
That's a bunch of crap.
no, that's not what I was going to say. If you kind of took a bird's eye view of what we do, we're kind of like watchmen on the wall. Okay. The Lord has called us through our ministry and mission is to continue to share the good news of Jesus Christ and the freedom found only in Christ, but also to warn people of the threats that are coming.
Yes.
Okay. So
you just answered my question.
When you say
to me, what we do here, we warn people of the things that are coming. So when you talk about people that are quote unquote the tip of the spear, they're the pointy end, right? They're the ones that
they're prickly.
They're prickly. And sometimes if you get too close, you get cut and they make you bleed and they're unpleasant. And sometimes they're covered in blood because they just took something down, right? That's us. That's our ministry. And so as watchmen and kind of as advanced scouts, I guess is another way to put it. Sometimes you stand on the wall and you look way out with your spotting scope, and sometimes you have to go further out to see what's really happening and kind of embed yourself. So that's what we do with our films. So we study a lot of things, and we
go directly to the source.
Go directly to the sources. That's an important point. And we bring that back and package it together, if you will, we string it together into a story and release it as a film to try to educate people about what we have seen out on the edges that's approaching.
And what's coming.
Because
there's nothing new under the sun. There is a repeat pattern. If you're paying attention, there is a pattern to all of this.
Yes, there's a flow to history, as Francis Schaeffer once said. And so why I posted what I did and why I post anything that I do is that it's usually out of it's for one of two main reasons. I do not live on social media. I do not really care about social media at all. But I understand that there's a lot of people who are there, and that's where they get information, and a lot of people that watch our films are there on social media.
And it's a tool to be used.
And it is a tool. And that's what I see it as, is a tool. I also see the manipulation of it as being 100% transparent, and it's ridiculous. And so when I say I don't care about it, I mean, the same way if you call me a name to my face, I will say, okay, that's your opinion, but I'll still sleep at night, right?
You know what they say about opinions.
So I'm not.
If you're not familiar, I can't repeat it here.
That's a Gen X line right there. So why I post things like that is because it's in line with our mission of our ministry to warn people about what's coming. So a lot of the things that I put up on social media are things that get people riled up.
Whether you like them or not.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's not happening.
Right. I will point out the other reason that I post on social media is basically to be a smart aleck. And so
because you realize how inconsequential it really is to the overall scope of your life.
Right.
If you're living there, you're wasting your life away.
Right. And so a lot of times it's just stuff that I think is funny. And you see my dark sense of humor. And I find stuff that I think is cool, behind the scenes stuff on movies and that, because that's what we do. But we learned a long time ago, you're not going to really change people's mind on social media.
No.
To us, it's a presence that we have, and we enjoy interacting with people on social media. I'm not saying that I think social media is dumb and everybody on it's dumb. That's not it. It's just I see it for what it is. And there are
not reliant.
Right. It's
on it for relationships.
Yeah. Because it's so heavily manipulated by the tech overlords that run it. And I just think I'm just not interested in relying on this. So yeah. So so here's the thing. I get yelled at a lot by people because I'll post something that's not mine.
Right.
Right. Not my stuff. people don't. This is what's interesting. If you post something of yourself, like a picture of you with your family or whatever, people can't argue with you about that for the most part. What are they going to do? That's not really you. I mean, it's right. So it's things that you post that aren't yours is where you get into trouble, or what gets people riled up. And so, especially, of course, if it has anything to do with politics, which
Current events currently is
that's what it all is. So we were having this discussion about how do you just to remind people, I guess, teach people how to discern things that are true versus things that are not. And so this is especially something that we have learned, and I've been owned up to this on several occasions, that we don't always get it right. There are some very cleverly disguised ruses online that a lot of us have fallen victim to. Now, some of them have gotten really obvious. So one of the ones that I see all the time is, people that will the cut, copy, paste some block of text that's, that says, if I post this on my profile, then it's giving legal notice to Facebook, or such and such fast food joint. If you post this on your timeline, they'll give you a free lunch or something stuff like that.
Clickbait.
It's clickbait, right? And a lot of us have gotten wise to that stuff. My favorite one is if you post this ad about Chick-fil-A, you get a free sandwich on Sunday. Right?
They're closed on
They're
Sundays.
closed on Sundays. That's the joke, right? But there's a lot of people that fall into that.
Yeah.
And you realize they fall into that because they're just not paying attention to it. And we just have to be smarter than that. Just stop and think before you repost things. And so when I post this stuff, and so I posted something in particular the people came after me and accusing me of, this is fake news. This never happened. I know this, I know that. And so, my response is usually to go and find another source and post that.
And can I just say, we've done this long enough. There's more than just one news source in the world, and all of the news does not come from America.
Right.
I'm just gonna say.
Yeah. So when we've had to learn to do this very carefully as we do research for our films, because if you've watched our films, we source material from the internet. And it's because that's the format of the films is to show people
the pattern,
and here's what it looks like, taking place right in front of your eyes. And so when you're doing that, you have to be very careful to, so we just showed Inwood Drive a couple weeks ago. And in the film, I talked about how when we started researching that film, I heard this story about how George Klopfer told pro-life workers that he wanted to kill as many American babies as possible because of what happened during the fire bombings of Dresden in 1945, I think. And I thought it was a bunch of hogwash. And
too fantastical to believe.
Right. Until we sat down with him, and the first thing he started talking about was Dresden. And then it all started. So that's a pretty credible source, right? When the guy himself starts basically saying, now, did he say, I wanted to kill as many American babies as possible because of what happened in Dresden? No, he did not say those words. But in context of what we were talking to him about, and he started talking about Dresden and how terrible it was, and basically that this was his motivation. You didn't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that that's what he was saying, right? So whenever you're looking at something like that, you got to be careful to don't just take the first source, look at it critically as, okay, now, is there somebody else? Is there another outlet or some other trusted account that's saying the same thing? And so we were talking about the guy down in Austin, Texas. This was last weekend, I think, who was wearing an Iranian T-shirt and then a sweatshirt over that said "Property of Allah," and walked up to a bar, shot 13, 14 people, killed 2 with a rifle, screaming "Allahu Akbar." Okay. And one of the first things that I saw about it on X, if you really want to see raw, unfiltered stuff, get off of Facebook. X is where this stuff is. And because they don't filter it nearly as much. And I saw a story that I almost reposted, but I didn't, that said that the DA down there in Austin had decided to prosecute the officers who shot and killed him. And I thought that SOB, I mean, it doesn't surprise me because he is notorious. That guy down there is notorious. He's a Soros DA. I mean, he's extremely liberal. He's a Marxist, and he's just been awful. But I didn't repost it, and we were on a walk, and I said something about it, and I was kind of grumbling about it. Well, then I went back a few days later and I did a search and found out it wasn't true at all.
Well, and I think it was after you and I had talked about it, and I went on because I think I actually shared it with you in a message, the report that this DA was choosing not to move forward with any charges against these officers. And I thought, we were just talking about this.
We were just about, I was just about had by that. Why? Because my pre-existing bias towards him. Because what happened was I went, doesn't surprise me, but I didn't repost it, and then I moved on. But now the seed has been planted in my mind, and I'm thinking, yeah, he's a dirtbag. Because his patterns in the past, it wouldn't have surprised me.
That's how people look at you, your patterns of the past.
Right.
Doesn't surprise me. Here you are.
Right.
Posted all of it.
He always says stuff like that just to get people going. So it's just an example of how easy it is to get sucked into something like that.
Well, and I think the takeaway for me was just looking at the comment section of what you posted, this video, and suddenly everybody's an expert,
right.
with their input, and
everybody's an expert. Yet all of us have to admit, none of us were there.
Right. And so knowing that, especially you and your account, continue to share the things that are happening in repetition, and they're only amping up, things will go from bad to worse. The Lord did tell us. To immediately jump to the conclusion of, well, this is false information. I didn't hear that. This was circulating a while ago. Guys, did you actually even go and look?
No, none of them did. I know that because I went and found another source, and that was my only response was to give them another source saying the exact same thing. And then I found another source saying the exact same thing.
So here was the interesting thing that I kind of chuckled at because well, not chuckled. It's really sad, honestly, quite honestly, because I stopped and I said, Scripture tells us that in the last days, it will be as in the days of Noah, when the Lord's return, and when you really think about that, how long did Noah preach? Over 120 years.
Yeah,
and there was no one outside of his immediate family who chose to believe the truth and turn to righteousness. And when you look at what's happening today, there are many people who are being swayed, tossed to and fro by the winds of this world, and you're getting sucked in to things that are not biblical, and you're following the crowd instead of standing firm in the truth and really having a discerning mind. And what did we learn yesterday in church? Really, it's a disciplined mind is the one who's able to discern.
And also realizing, just if you're in the scriptures, if you're in the word, then you have the right worldview. You know that there's bad in the world. You know that it's going to keep getting worse. And you know that things like this have been happening since the dawn of time, in these places since the dawn of time.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Right. It's not all to be blamed on the Jews. It's not all to be blamed on the Russians. It's the presence of evil because of Satan being the prince of this world. He loves to confuse and divide. Think of how awkward it is when you've had some knockdown drag-out fight in the comments section of a Facebook post, and then you see that person on Sunday. Right? Just stop.
It's not worth it.
Stop and think before you post, right? So, and I have had to remind myself of this. This is why before I post anything, I make sure it's a credible source, and that if it's marginal, then I'll double check to see if I can find another source. You see a lot of this where people they'll post a piece of video, and they've covered it with
remove the context.
They've removed the context.
That's the
They
problem.
put other music on it, and they say this is what this is, and that will get you riled up. This is especially true right now. Anything that you see about Epstein. And there's stuff going around, and they'll, that's really horrific, and they'll say this is from the Epstein files.
Oh, that reminds me. It was like the Pam Bondi thing, that thing that was going around saying that she said that if we prosecuted everyone, then the system would collapse.
Yeah.
I went and I researched that after I heard somebody say that, and I was like, there ain't no way.
No, that was something that I saw that in my feed. Saying that Pam Bondi in a hearing, she said if we prosecute everyone, the whole system will collapse. And there was a bunch of people talking about it. And again, because it plays on that frustration that everybody's had, and so you go, oh, that just figures, but I stopped short of posting it because I thought, nah, wait a minute.
And
I want to hear the clip.
Right. And let's just, and so that's the point. That's what we're talking about. Look at how your perception and what you think is being shaped by what you're seeing that's manipulated online. And the thing is, when you comment on something, do you really care? That's my question, really, because I see people who comment and I'm like, do you actually care, or do you care more about tearing somebody else down and trying to be right?
I think mostly we care about having our opinions heard.
Yeah.
We like the sound of our own voice. And I think, so again, it's an example. We are called as Christians to be held to a higher standard, to be discerning about these things. And sometimes that means you're going to be mocked. Take it from us. You're going to be attacked. Take it from us. Things that we have talked. Here's one.
Blessed are you when you are. How's that go? When you are.
Want to hear the Archer translation? When you're made fun of on Facebook.
No. When you're persecuted for my name's sake. Guys.
Yeah.
Jesus went first, y'all.
Here's another one. Speaking of, before we go, I posted. A week or so ago, that something about that the Satanic Temple has plans to utilize the school voucher program.
Oh, yes.
To fund Satanic Temple schools. And oh my word, did I ever get lit up? And people taking it so far out of context. There were people that
I don't
took
even know what
it.
you're
They
doing.
took it.
Do I need to go
No,
and
listen.
monitor
They
your
took
feed?
it. They took it as like a personal assault. I don't even know. I'm going. Listen. I'm telling you what I know to be true because I'm researching this stuff every day, and people immediately, I want to see your source. I want to, why is this so hard to believe? It literally is. We have legislation in place trying to fix the problem. If you watch Title IX, it talks about this. Title IX talks about how the voucher program that has been widely adopted in a lot of states that for now is really great, but it will be used against you. And this is an example of how, because now the Islamic schools are going to line up and say, well, we're a nonprofit and we have a school and we want taxpayer funds for it. And guess what? The Satanic Temple is a nonprofit and they're going to do the same thing. This is not that hard to believe.
Well, and what's really interesting and what I've seen and kind of just as we continue to do this research, so language matters. When we did Title IX and you're trying to separate gender and sex and for biological purposes, making laws for a protected class of citizen. Well, that's exactly what's happening right now with these ideologies is they're trying to all claim their religious exemption. So your communism is going to be a religion. Your Marx, all of the isms are now shifting so that they fall under a religious category, and that's watch out.
And we talked about this last year easily. We played a clip from the Satanic Temple talking about how to utilize the Religious Freedom Restoration Act to demand abortion rights. And guess what just happened in Indiana? It was successfully challenged, and an Indiana judge put a permanent injunction on the Indiana state law that basically outlawed abortions. And why? Because groups like the Satanic Temple came in and said, we are a nonprofit, and their claim has been, maybe we'll play this next week. Their claim has been that abortion is a sacred religious practice of this is the key words, their deeply held religious beliefs. And those are the magic words.
Words matter.
To get them in the door
That's
of
right.
the courts. And so now, as long as you say these magic words, so a judge just overturned basically the abortion legislation of the whole legislature. And so this is what happens, right? So discernment means don't shoot the messenger. It also means if you are the messenger, make sure that your message is verified
And rooted in truth.
Yes.
That's the main point.
And also being aware of, why are you posting something? Are you trying to annoy people? Are you trying to make a point?
Can I pass judgment on you right now?
Yeah, I freely admit it.
No, I did.
No, because I have trolls that follow me.
I know you do.
I will specifically post things just to irritate them.
I know you do. No. Matthew 5:11-13. Blessed are you when people insult you, persecute you, and falsely say all kinds of evil against you because of me. Rejoice and be glad, because great is your reward in heaven. For in the same way they persecuted the prophets who were before you. You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled underfoot. And I just think, saints, let's all be salty.
Yeah.
Like, there is absolutely no reason when you see these people getting up and screaming Allah Akbar, they believe it. Do we believe in the God of the universe who is greater than all enough to stand firm, to share the good news with people so that they are not being led astray to slaughter?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
the time of comfortable Christianity is over. It has been for a long time, but it really is now.
Yeah.
So,
Hey, that's all the time we have for today, friends. Thanks for listening through to the end, and be sure to click that subscribe button so you never miss an episode, and share this with your family and friends. Until next time, march on, saints, and be filled with the Spirit.
Are you threatening me?
Step aside, please. We have white privilege.
I am the great one.
I am dangerous. I don't like you because you're dangerous. You're everyone's problem.